Coach Pazin, it is great to have you here with us this evening. How are you, first of all?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that we will talk about youth department. We have a lot of good things happening over there, so I'm happy that we are giving them attention that they deserve.
Great. It is going to be a very interesting week for your young team as they are preparing for the derby on Thursday. Do you feel any tension with the team?
Yes, of course. It's always tension before the derby, and I'm trying to calm them down. I'm trying to point out that it's like a regular game, like every other game that we have. But I know that deep down in themselves, and also I feel the tension, so it's something that I'm looking forward to see them also being in the derby and to play some games that it's not always about technique and tactic, that it's also about mentality, and this is what I want to see, how we will handle this part.
Okay. You started practicing at the end of August, and it is 2 months now of practicing. Tell us a bit about the process with the players. What was the most crucial milestones you had for the team so far?
The most, yes, we start 2 months ago, but a little bit problematic was that immediately when we start, it was September and a lot of holidays. So basically, it's 1 month of full practice. But the biggest milestone that we are trying to pass is that now when they are coming from the 9th grade to 10th grade, actually they are stopping to be boys and they are becoming men. And it's a big transition for them, also in the handball part, because now they will basically stop playing handball they will stop playing handball because it's fun, and they will start to play handball because they love it, and they already see themselves being part of the first team. And this gap is that me and of course together with them will try to close in the next years that are coming. That really some of them will be part of first team of Maccabi.
The team and you started the season with a tough game against Holon, and after you had some more practicing time and got 2 in a row victories against Ness Tziyona and Ashdod. Tell us a bit about how do you see the progress of coordination and grasping your philosophy of the game, and who do you see as your voice during the matches to execute the game plan?
Yes, we had a very tough opening of the season. All the league is actually very tough for us because in our league it's last year champion of the league and the finalist of the league. And our first game was against finalist, and we lose. And after these 2 games, we already see some progress. And also on the last Shabbat we played against Rehovot, we unfortunately lose 1, but it was a good game. It was a tough game. It was in Rehovot, and they are defending champions. So it was. Honestly, I prefer to lose 1 than to win 10, because this is what I want from my teams, that they are playing tough games, that it's always equal, and because I believe that in this kind of games they will make the biggest progress. And of course, I believe that for my team it always takes something like 3-4 months to start adopting my philosophy. So we didn't have enough time for something like this, but because this team is so talented and so much talented players is part of this team, they are already doing some things that actually is surprising for me how fast they're adapting. We have 2 very good middlebacks, very different style of a game, and basically they are the ones that are implementing my philosophy in attack, and also 2 very good defenders that are I think all of them have big future in the Israeli handball and in European handball, and of course in the Bugrim team.
It is your 6th year in Maccabi, and you work with the men team. You coached the women team before, and some of the teams before. How do you see the atmosphere in the club in general toward derby games, and how is it in this team?
In all the teams, it's the same. I already mentioned that basically it doesn't matter which team is better when derby is coming. It's more about mental, and this is why I really like to play this kind of games, because you don't have so much opportunity to see what is mentality of your players and what is mentality of your team. And I'm very actually happy that we have something like this, some derby that in Croatia and Europe, derby is called two best teams when they are playing. In Israel, derby is always Maccabi and Hapoel. And I'm really looking forward. I think that in this game we are favorites. We are better team than Hapoel, but basically this doesn't mean that this doesn't mean nothing. Hapoel will come to fight, and this is what I want to see from my players, that they are coming with a good mood, with good atmosphere, and with strong mentality.
Great. Coach, please share with us your thoughts regarding the challenge of coaching young players in English.
Of course it's challenging, but actually when I was coming here 5.5 years ago, I was thinking that it will be much more difficult. But basically the only thing that it's, even after these 5 years, what is difficult for me is something that I never expect, and it's happening actually a few minutes before the game, actually on the team meeting that we have before the game, when after I'm telling them tactically and technically what they need to do as a players and individually and as a team, I'm supposed to make a motivational speech. And I never expect that it will be so difficult to transfer energy in the language that it's not your base language. But we find some ways how to overcome this. And on the practices, actually, I'm actually very surprised that even kids 6th or 7th grade are speaking English so fluently that I don't have any problems to communicate with them. This is also a problem for me, that after 5 years, because of this, because I don't need Hebrew, I didn't learn so much. But now when I have daughter, and she is 2.5 years, she already start to speak. So I start to learn together with her Hebrew. And now when I start to use this on the practices, basically it happened that some parents are calling me and asking for me to continue speak English, because they see this opportunity that their kids will also not only learn handball, that they will also learn English. So it's a struggle, but it's a good struggle.
Yeah, thanks. When you compare coaching young generation here versus Croatia, what are the major differences you have noticed?
About coaching, there is no difference. No difference in the first team, no difference between Croatia, when I was first team in Croatia, Premier League, and things that I was implementing here, there, and also things when Joe gave me space, or Sar before, when I'm doing some part of practice or full practice, basically everything is the same. I must say that also with the kids, there is absolutely no difference. I can say also that the level of the kids is the same. The kids are in the same way they are talented in Croatia and in Israel. The only difference is that Croatia have much more clubs and much more players, so it's easier to produce players that are with a bigger base. It's easier to produce more talented kids. But there is one basically major problem. It's not a problem, but it's a fact that after they are coming to 12th grade on the second year of they are playing Noir, basically they already start to understand that if they are not part of the national team and they are not going to be part of the project in the national team, they will not get athletic position in the army, and basically their handball way is stopping in this moment. And we are basically losing 90-95% of the kids that could maybe be good, because some of them is developing a little bit later. For example, we have an example in Croatia that Luka Cindrić, who win the Champions League twice, he or wasn't part of the national team, or he was like in the 18, 19, 20 player. And now he is the first middleback of Croatia national team. First national team, he's first middleback of Barcelona, and he won Champions League twice. So I think this is the main point that it's separating Croatia and Israel. But one of the things that I think that Israel needs to improve, and I'm talking specifically about coaches, is that we are not only working with the kids to make them players. We are also working with the kids to make them love handball. And I think that Maccabi is a very good example of when you are working with the kids in the way to develop this love. Because from the top of Maccabi, you have our president and our CEO. Both of them, I'm talking about Arik Arkalai and Amir Aron, both of them are handball players. And they came back to handball, even after they finished their career in handball and have great or big success in the army, and then later in their private business. Because of this love to handball, they came back to give. They came back to handball to give something to handball. I think I believe in the last 4 years, Maccabi produced something like 17 kids that, or in the last 5 years, since I'm here, 17 kids came to the first team. Of course, not all of them play in the first team of Maccabi. Some of them plays in other clubs. Some of them are here. But I'm also very happy to see that we have, for example, Rosenthal brothers are referees, and we have Itai Shalma is already starting to be coach, and Donald Benatia is a manager in the Israel national team. And I think that maybe I forgot some of them, but I think that this is also showing that we as a club, as association, are very strong and not only producing good kids, but quality kids in the quality level of handball, but also making society of handball bigger and stronger. And I think this is something that maybe Israeli handball needs to pay more attention about this. I think Maccabi is showing good example that not all of kids that are part of the club need to finish their career as a players.
Coach, it was a pleasure as always having this interview with you. We wish you and the team good luck in the game and of course in all of the season. Thank you very much.
תודה רבה.